Let's get ready to rumble!
Hello everyone, welcome back to Hudson River Rumble episode 4. My name is Brendan O'Callahan. I'm here with Frank Azarelo. He is a good buddy of mine. I actually met him at a card show. He does Shake and Bake Sports Cards is his brand, and he's just a great sporty guy. I had to have him on the show. Big Yankee fan, big New York sports fan, diehard Yankee fan. Loves Aaron Judge. He's a big fanatic, and he's got a business, an awesome business of sports cards. It's absolutely amazing what this guy does. Frank, how you doing today?
I am absolutely fantastic. For a Tuesday, for miserable weather, it sure is a good Tuesday. I'll tell you what, kind of a good weekend, despite what we're going to get with the Yankees right now. But we got a big win from the Knicks last night, Brent. So feeling pretty good about that, and I'm excited to be a part of the show, which, guys, if you haven't watched the first couple episodes with Brendan, he is unbelievable. Future commentator, broadcaster, he's got it going on, guys, and I am very thankful and grateful to be here.
So the first thing I want to brush up on is because we're not going to have a segment due to timing reasons, but I want to brush up on hockey because there's a lot of things going on. The big thing right now is hockey. The New York Islanders just got the first overall pick out of nowhere. As Ranger fans, we're fuming right now, but if it's Adam Schaefer, if it's James Higgins, if it's Michael Misa, I think it's going to be Schaefer. I think that's the way to go, but the Islanders are in a great position now. They have a lot of good forward prospects, so it might be Schaefer. Just absolutely amazing top 3 draft class. It's going to be another good draft, so congratulations, Islanders fans. The New York Rangers have hired Mike Sullivan, 2-time Stanley Cup champion. That is huge after firing Peter Laviolette. It's a big addition for the Rangers, and I think he's going to want a lot of changes because the Rangers need to have a bounce-back year after the season they've had. So I will go over that in the next episode. And one of the most important things, the Devils lost in the first round to the Carolina Hurricanes in 5 games. They had a lot of injuries. Jack Hughes was out, so it was expected they could not keep up with those Canes. But that's my seminar on hockey right now. So time to move on.
After winning the NBA championship last year, Knicks going into Boston as major underdogs. They beat the Pistons in the first round, 4-2, pretty handily, as expected. No one gives the Knicks any credit yesterday. They go up there, they play against Boston. It looks like a total dismantling. I mean, the Celtics come out and they go up. I mean, they were up by 20 going, I think, halfway through the third quarter, and then something just, I don't know, switched up in the mindset, the way the game was being played. They were being out-rebounded. The physical play was definitely being dominated by the Celtics, and then all of a sudden, third quarter, Bridges comes, he starts hitting everything. OG starts hitting everything. Cat starts making big plays. Brunson being Brunson, and all of a sudden, you got a game going into the fourth quarter. Knicks start rallying down by 3. Big 3 gets hit. They tie the game. They start, I think they took a 4 or 5 point lead before the game ended. Boston comes back, ties it up with a little less than a minute left. All right, the Knicks get the inbound. Towns gets a give and go to Brunson. Looks like he's going to nail the buzzer beater. In and out. So they have to go to overtime. I'm thinking to myself, I'm talking to my boy Brandon Alshvang. Guys, if you don't know him, Brandon Alshvang, all right? He makes Spike Lee and Michael Rappaport look like casuals. Biggest Knicks fan there is. I'm talking to him. He's like, I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. But after that fourth quarter, he was excited, as I was. A quick overtime. And, I mean, the Knicks they took advantage of it, and they pulled it out in Boston. It was not expected, but that is a great momentum win for the New York Knicks, and it's pretty exciting to watch.
I mean, that was absolutely amazing. You summed it up perfectly there. I mean, that back and forth, it looked like they were matching each other, and then all of a sudden, the Celtics out of nowhere, 20-point lead. The Knicks had a 1.7 chance to win that game.
Was it 1.7? I saw less than 1%. Someone was telling me about the odds of betting, and they're like, it was almost 100%. So 1.71, insane.
Someone put 1.7, but if it was lower than that, it doesn't matter. The Knicks were not favored to win that game at the end there. OG Anunoby, masterclass, hitting the threes. Brunson, Towns tipping them in. Everyone played a role, and I think Robinson was a big part of that overtime there. Mitchell Robinson was amazing. Deuce McBride came in, and
I mean, Bridges played 51 points, first of all. So it was incredible with what he was doing yesterday. He didn't come off the court, and that's the one thing about that. He's a dog. He hustles just like Hart, but he made a massive play at the end. And like I said, he made massive plays and then just kind of took over in the fourth and into overtime, just like OG did. It's crazy.
So I think that it goes back to what I said on the last show. Before the playoffs, they will take care of the Pistons. You know, if it was harder or not, you know, they went to 6 games. They beat the Pistons. They got it done. Now we're going against the Celtics. And this is what I've been talking about since the first episode. The Knicks have had such a hard time with these top-tier teams. It just, they can't beat them at all, really. They have so much trouble with the top teams. And then they go out and do that? I mean, are you kidding me? Like I said the last episode, they need that New York magic. And it looked like they had it. They had the mindset. They were not giving up.
Brunson was out of his mind, all right? He's a grinder, all right? I look at him, it looks like I'm watching Allen Iverson in the 90s and 2000s. It is unbelievable what he is capable of doing. He just grinds, he wants to win, and he makes people work around him. People want to play around him. I mean, they got great chemistry. At first, it was really a sloppy game for both teams, but they got it together at the right time. And as Brendan said, the improbability or the impossibility that they won that game down 20 against the Celtics in Boston on game 1 against the champions. All right, this is a momentum swing that the Knicks were looking for. They got to take it into tomorrow. I mean, you think they could win 2 in Boston?
I mean, with the way they're playing, it absolutely looks like it, but it's definitely not expected. So we'll see what happens.
One game in Boston is better than, I think, what a lot of fans, thought they'd get out of it. Because Boston, their steamrollers, you got, a couple of the best players. I mean, there were some injuries yesterday. Hauser rolled his ankle at the end. And Porzingis, I mean, I know he has injury issues. He was with the Knicks. He was a great player, is a great player. But then he comes out with a mystery illness in the first quarter. He just disappeared. Like, playoffs. You're going to disappear in the playoffs? I mean, and he never came back. So I guess it's been happening. Maybe it was contagious, and they didn't want the team. They didn't want him around the team, just in case. I guess maybe they get sick. I guess we'll find out.
So I heard about that, but huge momentum swing, like you said, Frank, with the Knicks. Huge win. It was just, they shocked the NBA world last night. So where do you think this goes now in terms of the series?
I personally think, I mean, look, I watch the Knicks. I got to tell you, I'm a closet Knicks fan. I used to be a diehard Knicks fan back in the 90s. John Starks, Patrick Ewing, it was Knicks, Bulls. It was you had the Magic was involved. They played the Rockets in the finals, and it kind of faded away. But but Brunson really brought me back into basketball, and I love watching him. And I do believe in miracles. I've been around. I watched, and again, it's a different team. Anything could happen, and we'll veer into, maybe we'll talk about the Giants. But like when you had the Cavaliers beating, the Warriors, down 3-1 against perhaps the greatest regular season team of all time in the Warriors. Steph Curry led 73-9, and then the Cavs come back, 3 games to 1 the finals and win. Anything could happen in sports. So I would not count out the Knicks, especially them being 1-up. The momentum's there, and I think they could take the series, personally.
Well said. I mean, I don't think I could disagree with you after last night. So we'll see what happens. Knicks, Boston. Let's go.
That's the rivalry, right? It's one of them at least. Any New York, Boston, basketball, baseball, anywhere.
The Celtics are just amazing, though.
Exactly. They're a great team. I mean, they're champions, and they got 2 of the best players in the league. They just have good chemistry together. And again, if you watch the first half, I'm like, I'm talking again to my boy. You guys don't know, but Brandon, he's like, we don't stand it. This team's nasty. But then it was a battle of really, I think you got 2.5 good quarters out of Boston. Then all of a sudden, something sparked in the Knicks, and they just started hitting. I mean, Brunson was out of his mind. Hart hustling, and then, like you said, OG looking like Obi-Wan Kenobi yesterday.
Awesome.
It was unbelievable. And it was just great to see. I was screaming like I was watching action. I'm a big Yankee fan. That's how excited I got yesterday. And you know what? I'm ready to watch the next game.
Let's go New York.
Let's go New York.
All right, so I think that the obvious topic that if we're going to start the Yankees is Devin Williams, because I was raving about Devin Williams, saying he'll be fine, and now he has tied the amount of runs he's let up in the last 2 years in 84 innings. He's let up 13 runs in 84 innings the last 2 years. He tied the second worst amount of runs he's let up his entire career in a month and a half. The Yankees have the league lead in losses after leading after the 8th inning with 5. So,
look, I mean, I have plenty to say. I was looking today, and a lot of people want to beg. Look, I'm indifferent about Brian Cashman. I like the transition from what we have in the farm. I'm a big advocate of our farm. I've watched the farm over the last 3 years, and I do believe in the development of these young kids. With that being said, I can't believe I'm gonna get crapped on for this, but I am not, like, Brian Cashman made some good moves in the offseason, and I think Devin Williams was a great move. And you know what? Fans, us, the Yankee fans, the overly critical Yankee fans, were very excited about Devin Williams. But you look at his numbers. If you look at his numbers over the last 5-6 seasons, you could compare them. And again, he didn't have as many starts as Mariano Rivera, but you're looking at the ERA. I'm seeing 1.25. I think I saw one sub-1. Maybe I'm making that up right now. 1.5. I mean, this guy is as dominant as everyone believed. The problem is, and this is, again, it's early and maybe it's the cold. We've had miserable weather, and we're going to touch on that about what's going on in baseball with the weather. But the guy pitched in Milwaukee. I mean, and there's a big difference. I mean, some guys are made for the Bronx. Some guys are made for New York. You're talking your Jalen Brunsons. You're talking your Aaron Judge. You're talking your Derek Jeters. You're talking your Reggie Jacksons. When you're in Milwaukee, when you're hiding in Milwaukee and you're hiding in Oakland, it's easy. You don't have that pressure. But every day you see Aaron Boone. He has to account for everyone on the team. It is not easy to pitch in the Bronx. And what we're seeing right now with Devin Williams is detrimental. I haven't seen anything like it. I mean, Brendan touched on everything in regards to those numbers, and I didn't even know that. But to see his ERA at 10.03, that is absolutely outrageous. And we're 35 games into the season now. You know, they did move him to that setup man role, as they should have, because Cool Man Luke, Dreamweaver, he does have it down pat. But unfortunately, last night, another poor showing that led into a come-from-behind win for the Padres and another late-game loss for the Yanks.
So, I mean, the thing is, Devin Williams looked like Devin Williams has all season, and then Weaver comes in and throws middle with the cutter and fastball and just blows the lead there. So
he can't do it every day. That's going to happen. I mean, as Yankee fans, I have to say there isn't. I mean, we're entitled, aren't we? We've been blessed, and I know we haven't won since 2009. But if you've watched Mariano Rivera, and I know a lot of you guys are young that are watching right now, you expected it. When he lost, you'd get mad. You're like, what? I mean, dude, you get used to a shutdown closer. We've never seen anything like it. There'll never be anyone like him. But Williams, statistically before this year, was that best closer in the game. So it was the right move, you would think. And again, it's early. There's plenty of time for it to turn around. But we're luckily, the AL East isn't really playing well right now. So we're still a game and a half up. Somehow Boston's 18-18. We're 19-16. We're a game and a half up. So Devin's got to regain his composure. Luke's got to do his thing. But, you know, we have other issues ongoing right now with the Yanks anyway. So, yeah. But that's a big problem that needs to be addressed. They're doing their best, and hope with the warm weather he's going to find his confidence. And the thing about Aaron Boone, he believes in positive reinforcement. He believes in his guys. He's going to go to bat for his guys. And, you know, there's a benefit to that. You know, in regards to that, there's a benefit to the players. He expects his players to be the best they're going to be. And, you know, he's going to be positive no matter what. He's going to swing it the right way so that, he's not acting down on them. So that's more pressure, because the pressure is monstrous in the Bronx. I mean, there's that pedestal of just being there. And we have the best fans in the world, right?
Absolutely.
What happens on the other end? I mean, with the best comes the worst, meaning you're going to hear it if you're not producing in the Bronx. So it's a tough world right now for Devin Williams. Again, we have the lead in the East, but we need to see a little better performance there because that is a key to us going deep into the playoffs.
I mean, I can't defend him anymore. Like I said, I was raving about him last week, and then he blew that game in Tampa Bay, and then so on. So on my 18th birthday, I had to go watch Devin Williams blow a game. I had this amazing tiramisu. I was so happy. Waited 2 innings for that stuff.
Where? You got tiramisu at the stadium?
Yeah, best thing in the world. This tiramisu, guys, amazing. I mean, they advertised it. It's just like they advertised it. It is absolutely amazing. I waited 2 innings for that. My girlfriend's talking it up with some random people, and she's waiting for me. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go back, watch the Yankees win. Oh, Devin Williams comes and blows the game. But I can't defend him anymore, guys. Listen, we know his track record. You guys, we can't DFA him, all right? Stop being ridiculous with that. They can't sit him either, because that's just going to completely take him out. He has to keep pitching. He cannot be put in these high leverage situations, obviously, but they probably will still do it.
They're going to do it until he gets it right. He has proven. Again, we don't know if it's going to happen in the Bronx, but if you look at his numbers over time, yes, it could be a little market, big market thing and a pressure cooker. But over his career, it identifies him as the elite closer in baseball. And you know what? There's still 4/5 of the season to play. We needed to get it together. But yes, as Brendan's saying, as he's talking about the tiramisu, he needs to get it together. We aren't going to DFA him, and Aaron Boone is going to stick with his guy. Whether it's in the 7th and 8th or whether he switches it out, Aaron Boone goes with his guys. You already know it. He's going to go to bat. He's going to defend. And then he's going to look like a genius, hopefully, when he does come around.
Yep, and the lineup, Ben Rice, Paul Goldschmidt, Aaron Judge batting over 420. All these guys are still contributing. Dominguez but Bellinger's getting hot. So Oswaldo Cabrera, my God, I have no idea why he doesn't play as much.
The consistent there's a certain question, and there with the lineup arrangement. Again, I'm an old school. I played baseball in high school, but I played in the Air Force. The consistency, and the Yankees say they don't go with the analytics. They give the players they give them the option, but I don't like the switcheroo. I think it creates a discomfort with some of the players and where they're at and what they're expected to do. And it's like, again, that's just my thought process here. Like, can you get comfortable and then shuffling guys in and out of the lineups? Like Oswaldo has been at the bottom of the lineup, because there's a big gap at the bottom of the lineup. Oswaldo's, I haven't checked over the last couple of days. He's batting 280. So if you look at that, Oswaldo is like a second leadoff. You're batting 280, 290. Maybe he's not doing that now, but it leads right into Big Ben Rice and then Goldie and then the best player in the world, Aaron Judge. So you got the 9 through 3 that are doing their thing, and then you hope Belly does his thing, because Belly and Jazz, oh my, brutal. Wells has been snake bitten a bit, and then Anthony went into that snag. Knock on wood, hopefully his shoulder is good. He took some heavy hacks yesterday, but we need consistency in the middle of the lineup, and then we need our guys to come together and do what they're here to do. Belly's batting 204. What Belly did he get a good hit yet? Did he have a hit yesterday? Or was
Not sure. But
he had a bomb two days. I was at the game 2 days ago. He had a Belly bomb.
200th home run of his career.
200th home run of his career. That was another sloppy game, but you really need that contribution from him, because you expected. His numbers have been mostly decent through his career, Bren, but you want that tandem, because Judge right now, what he had with Soto last year that's like Garrett Root stuff, but now it's just like Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge. And luckily, let me tell you right now, I'm a big Paul Goldschmidt fan. I didn't know much about it. You just hear about Goldschmidt. He's this veteran, and he's come in, and you're talking about Juan Soto. I'm not going to beg Juan Soto. As a Yankee fan, that's one thing, but it's almost as if Paul, and maybe you could correct me if I'm wrong. What I'm watching, I feel like Paul is a professional, and he is. He's probably a future Hall of Famer. He's adjusted to Aaron Judge. Like, he's not trying to do too much. He's trying to get on base, batting 370 to 390, putting the ball in places. When he needs the power, he's going for it. But overall, he's setting himself up. He's setting the big man up to send him around the bases, and it has been beautiful to watch at that top of the lineup. We just need that middle, ham to start contributing a little more consistency, and I think it's going to happen. I have to believe it's going to happen. We've seen in the past, it's an up and down league. The pendulum, it's a hot and cold league, at least from what I watch. I mean, wouldn't you say it's not, I'm going to sound like back in my day, but you would see more consistency. Now it's a more streaky league.
That's the thing about baseball. Streaky league. Trent Grisham's one of the best hitters in the league, and then that's like talk about streak. Right. I mean, he hasn't skipped a beat since episode 3. You know. So Jason Dominguez, why can't Dominguez play? Which sucks, is because they mess around with that. Like, it's so hard to play Jason Dominguez when Trent Grisham is one of the best players, and you tack on with all those other guys, like you said, that, like, talk about a streaky league. You got one of the guys that's on one of the biggest streaks in baseball right now. He looks like an MVP caliber. Obviously, Trent Grisham and MVP caliber player do not go together, but he's playing like one, batting over 300, OPS over 1,000, 9 home runs, Judge at 10. Like, what's going on?
I made this a joke yesterday. I think I posted it somewhere on social media. I'm like, Trent Grisham would be the MVP of the league if he wasn't hitting in front of Aaron Judge. I mean, it is outrageous. And I will say this, the last year I'm like, oh my goodness, they're getting this guy in, and you know, he's a great defender, you hear, and he's a Gold Glover, and I'm watching him, everything is like lackadaisical. I'm like, this guy, I was like, is he really that good in the field? He is, but now all of a sudden, you're getting this guy. I mean, we're missing Giancarlo. Who knows how long? I saw him running in the outfield, why is he running in the outfield? He doesn't run, so, I mean, what, he's just jogging. I guess getting the blood flowing. Maybe he should, well, we don't know, swing his arms. But you may have an issue when you come back. Trent was the most clutch 180 hitter last year. That's what I used to joke about. I'm like, how is this guy batting 180? Every time I turn around, we need a home run. There's a clutch home run. It's absolutely ridiculous. And you know what? I want to grow my mustache out now. Every time he hits a home run, I superimpose a mustache on my face in a picture. You'll see it on my Instagram stories if you're on it. But I'm just saying, who wants a mustache ride? Because this guy's playing out of his mind. He's currently, if he's not on the All-Star roster right now, he will be. I know the voting hasn't started, but he is at an All-Star caliber MVP type, he's having that MVP type season, and we hope he keeps it up because you need it as long as you can when we get the big bat, when we get Giancarlo back, and that's what we're doing. That's, to me, there's going to be moves at the All-Star break, but that's probably going to be the big offensive move is getting Giancarlo back. But we're probably talking about rotation. We're going to need to make a big move, and because obviously Bren's a big. You had to see, Brendan called me when Garrett went, he had to get Tommy John. I think he was crying on the other side. And he's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I mean, I got all these cold cards I love, and he's my favorite. Enter Max Fried.
Yep.
Dog. This guy belongs. He was from the Braves. He belongs on that mid-90, early to mid-90 Braves rotation. He's in that Maddox Glavine category, and it has been a breath of fresh air. Now, go ahead. You can talk all you want. I'm going to chime in because I know I'm already talking. I talk a lot. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, Max Fried, it's like they bring in this guy. They know he's an all-star pitcher. They know he's had one of the best ERA, actually the best ERA in the last 6 years, second best to Garrett Cole in the last 6 years, and then best in the last 5 years in ERA. Max Fried comes in. They knew something was up with Garrett. I mean, it pains me that, he says the other night that he was throwing pitches, going through pitch sequences in his mind. I feel so bad for the poor guy, my favorite Yankee of all time. But Max Fried comes in, and he completely, replaces Garrett as the Yankees ace as of right now. And he looks, it's like if Cole was pitching and he was fully healthy, they'd be trying to match up with each other because Max Fried is a Cy Young candidate pitcher right now, Cy Young caliber.
He is the Cy Young, 1.19 ERA, shut down. The guy is a mechanic. The guy wants to be out there. The guy's a dog, all right? He is absolutely out of his mind. And, again, throughout my time as a Yankee fan, we've had guys. We've had Roger Clemens. We've had Andy Pettitte. We've had all these. We've had, I could go on CC Sabathia. We had ace-type starters, and we've had, in my lifetime, a lot of titles. But some of these guys, they were aces, but they were the 2-1 in the, not all the time, because they got a lot of wins, but you're an ace versus an ace. We're the 2-1 losers in that most, or the 3-2 losers in a duel. This Fried is the 1-0 winner. He is, like, I haven't seen anything like this. And again, we are, at least that's my eyes and my remembrance, this is a shutdown guy right now. I actually haven't seen it. I know you talked about Garrett Cole in 2019 for the Astros, and that, what did he have? I think he had 20, I forget the numbers, but his ERA was absolutely ridiculous. I think it was like a sub-1 and something about 20 games straight with, I'm making up stats now, but it was one of the most astronomical seasons. He won Cy Young, but right now, at least I follow the Yankees really exclusively. In my timeline, at least through 35 games, this is probably the best bout of pitching I've seen from a starter that the Yankees have brought in since I've been a big fan.
Well, and Carlos Rodon as well. He finally, bearded Rodon is back. If he can keep it up with this season, he will completely erase those last 2 years. Everyone thought, he wasn't the pitcher we thought he was. As long as the Yankees get rid of or figure out the back end of the rotation, he'll coming back. Schmidt find his stuff. They did DFA Carlos Carrasco, so we'll see what they do there. If it's Yarbrough. So they got to figure out that back end of the rotation. They got to figure out the end of the lineup there, but Frank completely summed it up, everything going on.
Did they really DFA Carrasco?
They did.
They did. What happened today?
Yep.
Because he pitched yesterday. He did what he's been doing, and it'll be curious to see what they're doing. Did they call anyone up?
No, not yet. I think Yarbrough might be the starter as well.
Yarbrough's been decent. I mean, Warren's got his bumps. I mean, you gotta hope Warren comes around. This is a big hope. We lost in the minor league system. We lost Chase Hampton. I think it was Tommy John. So you're hoping for that. And then last year, I mean, we went all in on Juan Soto because I'll tell you, I say this and I tell everyone in the house, like if I'm set up at shows, people underestimate the Yankees farm system, but I will tell you right now, the MILB, your Volpes, your Wells, your Dominguez, even Everson Pereira is not getting love. You got a couple other guys. They've been champions in the minor leagues. These guys are winners, and that's the developmental aspect. But in that time, over the last 3 years, the Yankees have had tremendous pitching prospects that they have given up. They may, having Soto here last year obviously did the job until we played Circus World Series baseball. But Juan Soto edition got us to the World Series. Unfortunately, we lost the game, but we gave away 3 or 4 guys. Michael King to start. You had Vasquez and Johnny Brito, in addition to Kyle Higashioka, who, like Trent Grisham, if you gave Kyle Higashioka full-time as a starter, he'd probably bat like 210, 220, but he did 25 to 35 home runs. So you gave away a lot. We gave away a couple to the A's for Frankie Montas a couple of years ago, which, again, that hasn't panned out for the A's because a couple of their guys, was Waldachuk, who I thought was some of the best stuff I had ever seen, gone down with TJ, and then there was another that I'm not drawing right now. But the Yanks have given up a lot in hopes to get to the next level and win the World Series. So we're going to have to develop a little more. Like I said, we're going to have to give something up at the deadline because we're not going to survive with just Fried. Rodon, you got Jekyll and Hyde. The first 2 seasons, I love Carlos Rodon. I do.
So do I.
You know why I love Carlos? Because he wants to rock. All right? I do think he wants to eat up the pressure of the Bronx, and then he gets overly hyped up, and then he makes a mistake. And it's mostly, you've seen the best of Carlos Rodon, and you've seen the worst. It's Jekyll and Hyde. And the first 6 or 7 starts this year, he was the same thing. But over the last 3 or 4, holy moly, you're getting number 1 type stuff. You're getting 1-2 punch that, you know what, he's stepping up. Garrett Cole's not here. You're wishing it would happen. But now, it's like, the last 3 or 4 starts, he's been just as good. I think his ERA's been .95 in the last 3 starts. So we need that to happen in order to win because the back end, the thing with Clark Schmidt, Schmidt has injury issues. Clark Schmidt has great stuff. But Clark Schmidt needs to stay healthy. Without Clark Schmidt, I'm not being a pessimist. If you saw me on opening day, I got interviewed by ABC 7. I said 93 and 69. 93 and 69 is not happening if Clark Schmidt is not available or if we don't make some big-time move at the All-Star break.
So we'll see what happens. I think they're going to have to do that. Frank summed it up perfectly. We got to fix the back end of the rotation and the back end of the lineup. But with all these problems, there's so much greatness as well. So what brought me and Frank together here, Shake and Bake Sports Cards. That's his company. That's his brand. I met him at card shows. If you guys don't know anything about the hobby, here's your time to learn. So we collect sports cards. He sells thousands of baseball cards. I mean, I don't even know where to start here, but
I'm 5 feet tall. I have 24 feet of table. It's a long reach for me, so it's unbelievable. The hobby's a great, to me, it is just that. It is a hobby, but it's a great learning skill, both socially and from a business perspective. So when I met Brendan, again, I said in the beginning, he's as sharp as they come. He's a very well-respected kid, young man, just turned 18, by the way. Unbelievable, all right? Wise beyond his years. Like, it was collecting when I was a kid. That was the thing to do. Born in 82, and a big fan in regards to that. But since then, I mean, things have really changed. I've gotten back into it, and yes, we're Shake and Bake. It's a side hobby. One of my closest friends of 30 years, Vernon, Alexander, and myself, we went to elementary, middle school, high school. We played football together, college football, still best friends. And, we took this upon ourselves to make it a side hobby. It was, again, we got probably back into it during COVID like a lot of people. And, we kind of made this a fun thing to do. And a lot of people are like, when we first came up with the idea, and there's more reason behind it outside of Shake and Bake. If you're not first, you're last, as Ricky Bob. There's a lot to do. But again, hobby, you see some crazy stuff, you're like, what makes sense? Everyone's like, Shake and Bake. I think I'm buying some chicken meal or something, or breadcrumbs or whatever it is. That's absolutely not it. It's just fun, just like the hobby. It's catchy. But we've been doing it, together for the last 5 years, and we like Brendan. There are different philosophies, I'd say, and this is something that Brendan and I talk about all the time. Everyone has a different tactic, or they have a different idea of what they want to do. For myself, I like doing both. To be honest, and you'll see if you've been at my tables, I have. I love vintage. I really do, because frankly, they only make one card per set. There's not 18 one-of-ones. There's not 12 printing plates. There's not a variation. There's not a different color. There's not a different speckle. There's not a different this. You have the odds, and it is great, but to me, it's become oversaturated a bit in regards to what's rare and what's not. So, like I said, I like vintage because there's really only one card, and that's what it is. So a lot of people, I look into rare stuff. I like to collect stuff that's actually rare. So I like that first, and then I like my goats. I stick to that. I'm going to veer off, but you see me. I like to collect, all right? I'm grateful, and I'm blessed to have a tremendous job. I work for a great place with great management, with great colleagues, and this is a side hobby that I really enjoy, and it's great business as well. The camaraderie between meeting people is one thing, and it's something my best friend and partner do to just keep in touch. I mean, he lives in Kansas and I live here, but back to the shows, I mean,
it brings people together.
It does bring people together, and you may have, like I said, there's different philosophies, and Brenda will tell you, because there's some things, and we have a couple here, and we'll show you as we go.
This is an Aaron Judge. If you guys don't understand cards, because Frank's talking cards.
Yes.
This is, vintage, like he was saying, it's a completely different ball game, because it's older cards of legendary players, and you can have so much of it, but it's a big matter of the condition. But we have a lot of modern sports cards, and modern cards are a completely different ball game. From every decade is different. So what we have right here is an Aaron Judge Bowman Chrome from his draft year, autograph certified, 910. I mean, these are just masterpieces of cards right here. What I picked up is during the ALCS wild card, October 3rd, 2017. They're just collectors. They're art. They're collector's items. They're pieces of history. Right here is the piece of the base, second base from that game, October 3rd, 2017. Aaron Judge's autograph. And if you guys don't know about cards, like Frank was explaining, there's different variations. There's different parallels, and they make a short print run. This is numbered to 49, so there's only 49 of these in the world. It's blue. It's a different color.
To what he's saying with the emphasis on here, there are different variations, but there are. So I talk about the oversaturation of with variations and such, but this is a very unique card, as Brendan said, because it is from Aaron Judge's first wild card game where he hit his first home run. And the specific thing about Topps now, and I touched on it when I made that video on social media, was it has that MLB holographic sticker, and that identifies, if you go onto the actual website, the game, the base, when it happened, and you could actually put in the code number and it'll tell you. But that's unique because Aaron Judge actually touched his foot or his cleat onto that base after he homered in his first playoff appearance, in which, again, that wasn't against the Astros. That was the year we should have went to the World Series when we played the Astros in 2017. But this is an iconic card, especially when you have the best player. And I am saying the best player on the planet because, at least positional player, we are not seeing the magnitude and the ability. The evolution of this guy is out of his... I mean, he does everything right. He's a class act. He is as outspoken as he can be. He's honest. You get authentic interviews from this guy. And again, no disrespect. There are a lot of role models in the world, and there are some athletes. This guy, if he's not the top role model, at least in baseball, I don't know who is. I mean, I put him on top, and I'm a diehard. I tell a lot of people, Derek Jeter is my guy. I love Anthony. I followed him. But this guy is just the spokesperson for sports to me. If you don't listen to him, he says everything right. He goes to bat for everybody. And the thing is, he evolves, and he thinks it's never enough for him. This guy is a craftsman. He's an artist, and he just wants to evolve. And again, we're veering off back to the Yankees, but this evolution, you're talking about a 400-plus batter right now, and is it likely that'll happen? Unlikely, because the last time it happened is Ted Williams. I forget the year, late 50s, maybe 60. What we're seeing now is historical, but it couldn't be happening to a better player, and I believe he does strive. So this being said, this is the rookie card from that year. If you look at the base, it actually has dirt on it, which is pretty cool. And yeah, everyone watches like, oh yeah, there's well, cool, that's great. But you could actually magnify, you could see the dirt right here, and we made that video, and it's there, and then that's his card. And so Brendan is one of 49 to own this. There's different variations that could be out of, 35, 10, etc. But this is a unique piece, and if I'm talking about collecting, and this is what I tell Brendan, because I'm a long-term collector, and Brendan is kind of in the new age of collecting. He's not quite a flip and whip. Brendan wants to, he wants to buy, he wants to move, but then he wants to build higher to get to the next step, to get to the best possible card.
And which is crazy is, like, you look at an Aaron Judge card, and, they're all super valuable, but Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge, and his cards are going to be valuable from $900 to $10,000,
Yeah.
And what we have here is a Spencer Jones Bowman first,
He's gonna go already.
one of one.
You got the card, all right? So I brought them both, and I am proud to say that my partner and I, and we went in, we collaborated on this. What I like to do, I like to go and watch my team. So a lot of people in the hobby, and I'm not knocking it. You hear hype and you go after, and you want to rip boxes, and it's fun. It really is. And then if you hear the top 100 prospects, you're like, oh, this guy. Yeah, I don't buy what I don't see. So I make it another side hop. I make it an enjoyment, or I would call it, if you want to call it business. I get season tickets to the minor league games with the Yankees, and I watch whoever we have, and I watch whoever we play against. Again, in my eyes, the best player I've actually witnessed wasn't a Yankee, at least through the minors, and I still believe Jackson Holiday is playing pretty well. But he developed rather quick, and I was blown away. And last year when he was up, he went high A, he went double A, triple A, and dominated. And they actually expedited and rushed him up. But I mean, going back to the cards and the first Bowman, like, I will watch the games and then I will invest. I will say, I know this. Or you're hearing from all of the professionals about this guy, that guy. I use my own eyes. I may not be a scout by profession, but I've played baseball my whole life. I actually just came out of retirement. I'm in an adult baseball league this year, Sundays. It's absolutely phenomenal. But if you know the game and you have an eye and you can learn the marketability of the player and you can know how organizations work, then you can make educated decisions on this. So when Brendan's talking about who we went after, looked at Spencer Jones, and he's this mountain monster of a man. 6'7", he's listed. I'm telling you, he's probably taller than that. I mean, this is a elite athlete. An elite athlete. He went to Vanderbilt from California, just like Aaron Judge. He's left-handed, strapping. He is a personality. I got to meet him, talk with him. He just has every tool that the Yankees are looking for. So a lot of people that you're talking, you have X talking, oh, you got to get rid of you. Look, I don't know what's going to happen at the deadline, but this is a highly marketable player. But 2.5 years ago, when I went in, I watched, I observed, I liked the work ethic, I liked the look, I like the athleticism, I like the power, and I know that the Yankees like that in their market. So I looked, we searched, my partner and I, we found the best cards early. We ended up with, I think I have a count of 18, a combination of 18 101s, out of 5s, out of 10s. I think we have over 12 of the first Bowmans. We have 6 of the 101 first Bowmans. We just parted ways with the Super Fractor. That deal just tentatively went through. But we do have other ones. And again, this gets round. I don't mean to take time. But in the hobby, it's always been frowned upon. But I do believe there is an evolution. And I do take pride in this, getting on-card, in-person autographs. Except I like getting them to perfection. I feel like they make them more personal. I feel like they do, even though you have certified cards, it makes them more rare. And frankly, you ever try and get an autograph? I mean, at a game, you're getting scribbles, you may not get it. It is a chase. It is a hunt. All right? And to be able to get something and get it perfect is something. So when I got to watching Spencer down at High A, I'm just like, got to get this. So we set it up. To get the Super Fractor, long story short, I found a guy on Facebook. I flew to Kansas, guy I met from Iowa, made the deal right there. Flew back a day later, went to Hudson Valley, framed the card so he signed it perfectly, and bada bing, bada boom. I'm not even sad because the autograph is the best auto he's ever signed, even the certified, but it came back a 910. But it's one of the best stories. I'm expanding, but I don't have the Super with me because it is gone, but this is the first Bowman black, which a lot of people love, and it is the 1-of-1 variation. Now, the black or the mega box does not have a certified autograph, and if you could see on the video, I tried to get it to Vanderbilt Gold. The centering's perfect. The autograph didn't come out as well as a Super, but it is perfectly framed, and this is a true 1-of-1 with the man himself signing in person. And, it was an exciting day then. So I have that. And then I have this beautiful red. Same type of thing. A 10-10. But this card came out this is a dual 10. 10-10. This is probably the most attractive and eye-appealing card I have in regards to that. And that is a 4 of 5. Again, that's the first Bowman. So those cards, to me, the craft of getting a perfect auto on a card like that, it's exciting. And I know to maybe, 45 to 65% of the people in the hobby saying you're ruining art. To those people, you know what? To each his or her own. I think it's great. I don't disagree with you. But there is a population and a certain person that does look for that as a collector's piece, and just proves with what just went on and with the transaction now. And again, if it's with me, it's with me. I mean, I got the 1-of-1s, I always will, and I'm excited to have it, and I keep doing it. So.
Which is crazy because that's like a prospect card, and that's probably worth well more than 10 times the amount of this Aaron Judge card. So there's millions of cards, and they hold millions of different values, but he just showed you and he got rid of the Super Fractor, which is a 1-of-1, a 1-of-1, and a 1-of-5. These are the best Spencer Jones cards of all time, and he's not even in AAA, and these cards are just collector's items, absolute masterpieces. They hold insane value, and I think that speaks a lot for the hobby. They sign them in person as well. Not a lot of them, obviously most autograph cards come from the companies, the Topps company, whatever you're buying it from. They're certified, but Frank does it in a special way, and he goes in person. He meets these players wherever they are, whatever's running, whatever's going on, and he gets them to sign the card. He gets the card certified by PSA, so he takes that ball game completely differently, and he does his own thing, and it just makes beautiful pieces of art. So he has those Austin Wells cards.
The Wells itself now, and I'm going to be shorter on this, but the Wells is unique, and I have a couple, and you'll notice, and I'll show you a certified first Bowman if you could see it. So Austin doesn't have much of an auto. He has an A and a swiggle there, all right? So I went to this actually didn't happen. I've gotten a few at the games, but I was lucky enough to go to Sports Minded Unlimited. Great shop, I believe in Warren, New Jersey. If I'm wrong, it's right around Warren. Sports Minded Unlimited. They do a lot of autographs over there where they have in person a lot of the Yankees minor leaguers, some of the major leaguers. I think Oswaldo Cabrera has been there, Austin Wells. Anthony Volpe was there, which was an amazing, amazing time. You get a lot of Devils players, I think even some of the Rangers, but that's a local mom and pop memorabilia shop that has all of these players come in. But I did that for Wells. It was a rainy day, and I'm not sure a lot of people met. But on that day, again, this is the certified, the A swiggle, and then you got what I got over at Sports Minded Unlimited, and you have the 1 of 25 first Bowman of Wells, and he gave the full signature, all right? So you actually see his full signature there. You can't find any of those. I mean, so this card is absolutely gorgeous. The colors of the sapphire plus his full sig, guys, it's completely different. And so it's like talking back, like you're getting this card signed. Well, in itself, that's a 1 of 25. But that's the only one with his full signature on the card. If you look at his certified stuff, none of it's there. Much like this Aaron Judge, which you talked about earlier, this 2013, all of his 2013, even though it's his first Bowman, he short scripts. It's A with the J and this is a full signature 2013. And to me, especially, again, not knocking fanatics, they know what they're doing, but you're not going to be able to get a card like that. You may get a certified card, but with an Aaron Judge full signature on his first card, this is a Pop 24 at a 910. There's only 5 graded higher. Tom Brady doesn't sign autographs on cards anymore, at least not unless you're paying a premium at like $5,000. Mike Trout doesn't sign cards. The premiums are all elevated. And so if you get your hands on something like this, to me, certified or not, in person, this is a full sig, long term, and this is long, unless, again, all of my stuff I collect, to me, and I'm just try to preach, we're different, you're 18, I'm 42. This will be with me as long as I want it to be with me, or until someone makes me an offer I can't refuse. Because this is a full sig on his first card ever, and he's the greatest player on the planet. He is Gehrig Ruthian skill level. I mean, it's in a class act. So that's why I like that stuff. And I mean, that's my joy, at least with collecting there. So pretty exciting.
And what he's showing you is pieces of art. If you understand it or not, it's a very complex thing. Baseball cards, sports cards in total, but you do a little bit of collecting, you do a little bit of opening boxes for fun, and what Frank does is he has these beautiful pieces of art. I mean, look at this. This is an Anthony Volpe and Jack Leiter, who were top picks a couple years ago. Jack Leiter is one of the top pitching prospects of the Texas Rangers, and obviously we all know who Anthony Volpe is. And they both played in Del Barton. Yeah. Leiter was the number 1 pick, right?
Yes.
Leiter was the number 1 pick.
But so he chose to go to Vanderbilt, and Anthony opted to go to the Yankees. The Yankees, they made him, and Anthony's like, I want to play for the Yankees. And his parents weren't too thrilled because they wanted to go to Vanderbilt, but then the Yankees said, we're gonna make this a journey and joy for all of you. And he made that decision. But yeah, they were best friends. These guys are best friends. You saw them at the Futures game. And last year, maybe it was last year where Jack debuted. Anthony almost took him yard in the first at-bat, and then he did get a base hit. But this is a very unique card. The fact that they're on it together.
And it's a super fractor.
It's absolutely
insane.
It is a super fractor. And that is definitely a unique card to Anthony and Jack and Del Barton and the families. Topps, thank you. You knew what you were doing there. Topps Chrome definitely knew, because why else would Jack and Anthony be on anyway? It's fun. It's all fun. But Brendan, back to what Brendan does. Again, he's a builder up, find the next best one, and then progress it there. And again, he's young, up and coming, and he's learning. And you know what? There isn't a wrong way in the hobby as long as you're courteous and respectful and you have fun. You're going to have people that don't like the way you do things or the way you collect or the way you do. Look, it's a hobby. Teach people. That's what I say. I'm here. When Brendan worked with me at a show, I was at the Morris County Card Show with Deb. Parsippany, I have watched Deb build over the last 2.5 years. She's built that into a monster. Over 104 tables, sees 600-700 people. But Brendan was there helping me. He gets excited, and you see all these kids. And I try, when I'm there, I'm as polite and respectful. Every which way. But you get kids. The hobby's great because I see 7-year-olds. They hustle, and you get I'm all about respect and courtesy. And you get kids, and they ask, and it teaches them, especially with cell phones now. No one knows. It's different. I don't want to say no one knows how to talk. But a lot of people, because of social media and your cell phones, you don't get that interaction. And in the hobby and at shows and in the media, you're seeing all ages from, I see 5-6-year-olds, or, I had a 5-year-old where their dad there, she hit a grand slam the other day. They're looking for Jeter. They know what they're doing. They're long, and they're, dad's collecting. Robbie, shout out to you and your daughter. But they know what they're doing, and she loves baseball. You see that, and she's interacting with me. It's teaching kids the necessary skills that they need to progress, because the social skills are something that, again, no disrespect to any generation, social skills are so important. Without them, I can't see, unless you're behind a computer, not interacting, how it helps you to be successful. I think that's such a necessary tool, and you can learn so much. And as Brendan does a good job, he's highly animated. He's like my anger translator sometimes. You have to settle him down. He's very defensive. He's like, I get some kids, and Brendan's like, you know what card this is? Spencer Jones, 1-of-1. I'm like, come on, tone it down. But I love it. I need that. But seriously, talk about that. How do you feel personally when you're at a show and you're talking to vendors, or you're trying to make a deal yourself?
Well, everyone does things different. You got these teenagers, guys in their early 20s, and like Frank said, even little kids. Everyone brings their own different stuff, and we're talking about card shows here. So, Frank has these absolutely amazing pieces of art, and if people want to come look at it, I'm trying to explain to you, man, this is something that is absolutely amazing. It's just something that's so valuable, and I want people to really take it in and embrace it. If they understand or not, I try and do my best of explaining. But Frank is really a high gamer type guy, big market, so he has these just crazy pieces that we show you, and he has a whole selection of these cards that are worth thousands and thousands of dollars. And then you go to someone else, and it's just like a little kid. So, like me, I'm trying to work my way up. I have this Aaron Judge card here, but it's all sorts of different types of people in different stages of life. Whether they're just doing it for fun, they have a couple cheap cards they're trying to sell, show off. Or Frank, who he's a true gamer, big guy in the hobby. So what he was explaining is how I explain those cards to people, because not everyone really understands the magnitude of what we're looking at. It's just absolutely insane. It's sports cards, and
remember, it's also memorabilia. You see bats, you see baseballs, you see jerseys. There's a lot of it is cards, but it's everything. It's the hobby. It's sports. If you're engaged in interacting in the sports and you love the hobby, there is the great chase. It's absolutely incredible. Like I said, I'm 42, but when I'm in there and engaging, whether I'm having a discussion or not, I could talk all day. For me, I could just have a conversation. For me, it's not about the sales point. Obviously, side income is a great thing, but if I could influence or educate someone, I'm not saying that my way is the exact right way, because people enjoy it for what it is. People like to just collect. People have I've had people come in looking for, I was at Pinstripe Pride. They're like, oh, you have Kevin Moss. I'm like, here I am from 1993. Yeah, here's my Kevin Moss card. Like, you have fanatical people. They love their favorites, and it's not just about, you know, the income. It's about the joy. It's about the art, as Brendan has said.
Exactly.
And it's fun. It's a way to engage, and it's a really good teaching tool if you're taught the right way and you have fun with it. It's just, again, I have a full-time job. The side business I do with Vernon, Shake and Bake Sports Cards, we're actually going to be hosting our own shows. I've learned a lot from Deb at Morris County Card Show, but we're going to be doing it as well. And I want to be one of those. We want to be one of those event coordinators. We have our first show coming up June 22nd in Olathe, Kansas. I know I guess it's the opposite of Wizard of Oz, because we ain't in Jersey anymore. We are actually in Kansas, and that's where the show is. But I embrace and I enjoy all the hobby, and I want to bring that same enjoyment to people around there, and to get as many people engaged in this as much as I can, because it's exciting. Like, I'll work 5-6 days a week, or let's say I work 5 days. You have to set up. I mean, this is work. I mean, I have to prep. You have people that are doing it. I know Prospect R Us, you know, this guy grinds. He grinds, and he literally, like, he's wheeling dealing. He's going to different houses, picking up stuff. He's pricing. It is long. It is work for the hobby, for the vendor that is making this full time. It is a grind, guys. If you're not prepared, it's a lot of work. And again, when you get to that point, he saw me, because I get like anxiety setting up. But he, like, once the show starts, it's like, it's on. You're gonna meet people. You're gonna engage, and you're gonna make some deals. You're gonna do trades. I mean, do you trade?
I mean, see, that's a whole different ball game. If I find a nice card that I like, and I got some, I don't have a lot of baseball cards. I have, you know, to me, some big cards, and, you know, I really don't. I get a lot of anxiety over it. I traded a 1/1 Juan Soto Topps Archives card for a PSA 10 George Lombard Jr. Bowman First Auto. So very controversial thing, but I try and find the value in things. I find the things I like, and I will make a trade. It's just sports cards. It's its own world. You know, you can trade, you can buy, you can sell, you can have fun, you can meet new people, and that's what we do here. That's the whole thing about sports cards and memorabilia. It's just its own world. So
it's fun, and the guys you meet in the hobby, like I'm saying, I just brought it up. So you have fellow vendors. Like I said, everyone has a different definition as to, or description about what they're about in regards to being a vendor or a hobbyist. And you have guys like the Eddies. Eddies, we love you, but great people. They know a lot about New York sports. They know a lot about the hobby. We got Scoutsman, Chris, we love you. And then we have Adam, Prospect R. There's a lot of guys that are great to talk to, that are very knowledgeable and have different, they just have different ideals and different attack approaches, I suppose. I don't want to, attack's the worst word, is not the right word. Just different philosophies in regards to what their take is and how it's done and what the hobby should be. And that's the best part about it, because, again, you're not wrong for how you feel or what you collect. Like, I'm not wrong, like the Eddies, like Adam, like Chris, like Deb, like whoever is big in the hobby. Just enjoy it for what you think it is. And, you know, don't let people get under your skin, and just have fun with it. All right? It is, at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's another thing that you could find joy in.
Thank you, everyone. So this is Hudson River Rumble. Hope you all enjoyed. Frank Azarelo. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Guys, have a good one. Go Yankees. We're heading there right now. See you later.